But the most important thing is missing, which is Christ. Without God, it's all confusion. So you never know what type of confusion it's going to be. If we could get the younger generation to start, even if you look right now, you have a young lady, 16, she have 2, 3 kids already. They're 20, they have 5 kids, 5 different baby daddy, and none of them even tried to say, you know what, let me raise up my child, let me get my child into Sunday school, let me get them go to church. But tell you what, you look at a child 3 years old, they're popping it, and you tell them, hey, tell me something about the Bible, tell me something about church. They can't. So all the good things are missing. So what is there? Nothing. So we who are the older heads right now have to try to get the youth and try to teach them, look, let's try to get a place, like maybe a place, even a game room, but make it be something that is decent, spiritual, because most kids nowadays don't want to hear nothing about the Bible. They don't want to hear nothing about God. But tell them about the gang bang, tell them about cussing, tell them about the rapping. They're in for that. But we have to be just continue to be steadfast and focused on the most important thing is the youth. How can we bring them back
Yeah.
to society?
Yeah, I think we really do have to be creative with bringing
Yes.
youth back.
See, one of the thing that the thing that drive me even now to work the way I work and do the things that I do is my mission is to get me a place where I could take some of the homeless people off the street, some of the people who are less fortunate. And I thank God for blessing me to acquire even the shopping center and the gas station. I didn't want the gas station, and I'm a pastor. But you see, when I studied the Word of God and what God said to me, He said, son, I will let you change the landscape of this city. How can you change the landscape of this city? You got to start on properties. You got to start on, own things. When you put your name on things, that things start to change. So what I'm going after right now is to get me a nice place where I could build me maybe a place where I have 20 rooms, 30 rooms, and get some of these less fortunate people off the streets, some of the people who really need help. But not just so, but find people professional or people to come in and train them, put them back into society, because just give them room, board, and food ain't gonna get them there. They need to all retrain, and that's what missing right.
I agree. I agree. And I love that vision.
Well, I think God's going to do it because, when you could impregnet something in your heart, He said, out of the heart flow the issues of life. So if that issues of life for me is to get something for the less fortunate, Jesus said the poor will always be with you. But everybody is most looking for themselves. And most of these churches today, even here in Albany, it's all about what they can have or how much can they have. But they're taking from the poor, but they're not giving back to the community. They're not giving back to the poor, and that's not what the Bible said.
I agree. I agree with that fully. Um, I agree. Okay. Um, mm, what advice would you give a person who feel like they're too old or they have a history? People think like they're too old or they have a history, or their life just is pretty much gone and they don't know.
You're never too old to achieve. But the mindset of people, it's you feel like, well, I can't do this no more. I waste all my life. There's no such thing that you have wasted life. You still have breath. You still have strength. You just have to try to do things that are more positive. And you're not seeing that. You see, you look at older men today, even older women. It's like they're stuck at a place. Like you have an old car, you just park and say, I don't want to drive it no more. But that car is still good because you fix up that car, it become antique. Now you, the older man or older woman, you're an antique. You're still good. You still have strength. You just have to able to start to socialize and try to pull people together and come to a common ground and say, you know what, I can't do this by myself. So let me see if I could find somebody to help me to acquire this. We don't have that togetherness. You don't have people want to come together and do something. And you can't do it by yourself. Sometimes you don't have the means. You might have the plan, the great idea, but you don't have the means to get that